Hello, good people. Welcome back to Global Happenings. Today, we're so excited to have you again. Though Buhari and Bola Tinubu are in the same political parties, Nigerians are already expecting that there's going to be serious wahala between the two, considering a lot of things which have been left behind as legacy, mostly the loans that are already pending, staring at the face of the next administration. Don't forget that one of the biggest legacies Buhari have left behind had been killing without end, about 77 trillion debt and also a 22% inflation. But then, with all of that at heart, there are a lot of other things that is about to happen, which is the move by the court for Buhari to give account of some of the Chinese loan that he collected, which one of them was meant for fixing CCTV cameras in Abuja. Up till today, the project, Nigerians have not heard anything about it, and the court right now is demanding that he gives full account of it. We are going to be looking at what the position of the court is and what may likely happen in the nearest future in respect to recouping back that loan. Now, according to the news, a high court in Abuja has issued an order requiring the President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, and his regime to answer for how a $460 million Chinese loan was used to fund the failed Abuja closed-circuit television project. According to the court judgment, the regime must publish the total amount of money paid to Chinese and local companies and contractors, precise details of the identity of the companies and contractors, and the status of the implementation of the projects. Honorable Judge Emeka Nwete had issued that directive in his ruling in the Socio-Economic Right and Accountability Project FSC/ABJ/CS/1447/2019 Freedom of Information lawsuit. The suit followed the disclosure in 2019 by the Minister of Finance Zainab Ahmed that Nigeria was servicing the loan, adding that she had no explanation on the status of the project. She reportedly said, "We are servicing the loan. I have no information on the CCTV project and its status." In the judgment, Justice Nweti agreed with Sirab that there is a reasonable cause of action against the government, accounting for the spending of the $460 million Chinese loan is in the public interest. It will be inimical for the court to refuse Sirab's application for judicial review of the government's action. He went further to say that the Minister of Finance is in charge of the finances of the country and cannot, by any stretch of imagination, be oblivious of the amount of money paid to the contractor for the Abuja CCTV contract and the money meant for the construction of the headquarters of the Code of Conduct Bureau. The judge also ordered the court to provide the details clarifying whether the sum of 1.5 billion naira paid for the failed contract meant to construct the headquarters of the Code of Conduct Bureau was part of another loan obtained from China. Justice Nwiti's judgment read in part, he said, "Sirap core objectives are to promote human rights, transparency, accountability, and anti-corruption in Nigeria. I am of the humble view that there is a reasonable cause of action against the government through the Minister of Finance, and I so hold that Sirap has made out a case to be entitled to the relief sought. The law is well settled that where a document or letter is sent by post, it is the law that same is taken or presumed to have been delivered. Following this principle of law and relying on Exhibit 052, Sirap's freedom of information request sent to Mr. Ahmed is deemed to have delivered. Therefore, the averment by the government through her that they will not serve with the letter is hereby discountenanced. I so hold. Join as defendant in the suit are Ms. Ahmed and the Minister of Police Affairs. Justice Nwiti granted some order of mandamus against the Nigerian government, saying an of mandamus is hereby act of mandamus is hereby made directing and compelling the government through the Minister of Finance to provide and made available to CIRAB information on the total amount of money paid to contractors with specific details of names of companies, local contractors involved from the $460 million loan obtained in 2010 from China by the federal government of Nigeria to fund the failed Abuja CCTV contract. An order of mandamus is hereby made directing and compelling the government through the Minister of Information to provide the details of the local companies and Chinese contractors that have received funds from the $460 million loan for the finance of the Abuja CCTV contract, as well as details of the status of implementation of the project. An order of mandamus is hereby made directing and compelling the government through the Minister of Finance to provide the details clarifying whether the sum of 1.5 billion naira mobilization fee reportedly paid to the contractors for the construction of the headquarters of the Code of Conduct Bureau in Abuja was part of another loan from China. This is the judgment of the court. CIRAB Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare said that the onus is now on President Muhammadu Buhari to immediately comply with the court's order. We commend Justice Nwite for his courage and wisdom and urge President Buhari and Abubakar Malami, Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, to immediately obey the court order. This is a victory for justice, rule of law, transparency, and accountability. The judgment shows the way forward in the fight against corruption and impunity of perpetrators. We will do everything within the law to ensure full compliance by President Buhari with this groundbreaking judgment on Chinese loan. We call on President Muhammadu Buhari to use the judgment as the basis for publishing details of spending of all Chinese loans and other loans obtained by his government since May 2015. Date from the debt Management Office shows that, or data from the Debt Management Office shows that between June 2015 and December 2022, Nigerian overall borrowing from China increased from 1.39 billion to 4.29 billion dollars. Oh my God, Nigeria. The federal government will spend nearly 74.6% of its anticipated revenue of 6.31 trillion in 2023 on debt repayment, according to the Nigerian government 2023-2025 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper. According to a report, Nigeria may not have paid back its debt to China and may be subject to a penalty of 41.31 billion naira. The debt Nigeria owes China, which has grown to 110.31 billion naira over the past 2 years, has not been properly serviced, according to the Debt Management Office, which was quoted in the story. It will be recalled that CIRAB had in December 2019 filed a suit against Ms. Ahmed over failure to disclose information and specific document on the total amount of money paid to contractors from the $460 million loan obtained in 2010 from China to fund the apparently failed Abuja CCTV project. The suit reads in part, servicing Chinese loan for failed project is double jeopardy for Nigerians. They can never see nor from the project, yet they are made to pay both the loan and the accrued interest. My God. The situation the country has found itself right now is pathetic. Right now, Bola Tinubu is struggling to enter. But I think by the time that we are into this leadership business for the next 1 year, it will be very clear to the Agbadorians why Nigerians needed a prudent and a corruption-free leader like Peter Obi. It will be very glaring to most people's eyes. By the time you notice that your salaries are not being paid and things are diving big time, then it will be very clear what has been going on. I also feel that at this point, Bola Tinubu should sweep under the carpet any form of party relationship. In this case, when he's sworn in, if he will be sworn in, he should forget about relationship with any administration and deal decisively with these corrupt leaders. Imagine what these guys just said. Now, $460 million was collected as a loan far back from China. And up till 2019, there was zero accountability on how much was used on the CCTV camera contract. Nobody knows anything, which means refusal to publish this detail, it's only there to prove to Nigerians that it is borrow to steal. They borrow and they use their corrupt practices and disseminate the money into different hands, and they keep on doing it just like that. At the end of the day, Nigerians will now be burdened with so much financial obligation to pay both the principal and the loan. Already, as we are talking, the amount of money that is on ground as debt already has tripled into trillions of naira. Who will rescue this country? I feel that we have few days to go, and by the time president or whoever that will be the president of assume that office, they should forget about the issue of not fighting corruption. The issue of fight against corruption must be topmost in the agenda of any government if Nigeria will still have a face in the financial world. That's where we like to leave it. Go to our comment section. Let's interact. What's your standpoint on these huge debt left behind